Yeah.
Yeah, great. All right, folks, it's 8:30 and so we shall begin. Sorry for the late alert for this. But what I was doing was I spent 5 hours and 55 minutes going through my uh, find high tide flags, and so I found like 40 to 50 good ones. And so I wanted to discuss what and all you should see while while choosing a good high tide flag, and also some of the nuances or the nitty gritties of high tide flags, because all of them, although they are high tide flags, there are like slight variations and things one should uh, um, keep in mind to uh, to increase the probabilities of the setup working. Okay, so let's begin with that. So this is the list. Basically, it's a alphabetical order for now. So my hope is that within 30 minutes I am going to finish this list, and also with each one I will tell you why I like most of them. Okay, so the Adani names are poised. Some of them, they might not be high tide flags. High tide flags, like the definition of high tide flags. Okay, and what is then the definition, bookish definition of high tide flag? That would be, just quick reminder only. That would be about 100% move from within 5 to 8 weeks. And now you see this is not 80%, right? And then the mast is not more than minus 25%, and this is basically four times, like one fourth of the move. So 100% ka one fourth 25, right? So should not be more than one fourth of the move, and the breakout should come within 3 to 5 weeks. Okay, so if you do this, then this is more than that. So 58 days would be seven sevens of seven fives are 35, seven six are 42, seven sevens are 49, right? So this is more than like 7 weeks or so. So not all of them are bookish high tide flags, but they are still really good grade flags, and we just call them IHTFs, Indian high tide flags. Okay, and these are just namings are basically done to make the distinction, and also helps in learning fast. Okay, so Adani Energy Solution is a really great name. Right now it's also at 50 DMA. So one way to trade this would be, when this is breaking out of this, that would be the cheat pivot, and also like a bust setup, right? So anticipation at the base of the second T. This could again go back and make a third T possible, but the give and take here is, you are doing is that you are getting this little bit cheaper, but you might also need to wait for the actual move to come in. So these are the nuances one has to see. Adani Enterprise is also a great high tide flag. 2T, a possible breakout, but again, what might happen is that it can now go base sideways for some time, and then eventually that breakout will come, and that is also going to be a really good one, right? um, so the cheat entry here could have been here on this day. ठीक है, on this day, on this pocket pivot, when this pivot was taken out, that could have been an early entry, right? And always make sure that you make sure that when the high tide flag, whenever the flag is also making that, the the relative strength is not lesser than the market, right? In the last 50-day relative strength. So if you can see the ensol as well as so ensol is just trying to dip, but hopefully this guy will not dip so much and then come back. If this guy dips keep on dipping, then this will be out of the watch list. Okay, that is something to take care of. And also today's session will also be a primer to the second season of 25 HTFs with Homma. I plan to start that at the end of this month. And so this is also a very nice primer of what you all will be learning day in day out, and trading with me, along with me, through the entire exercise. Okay, so Adani Green, this is the better one. I like this better than the other ones because here there is a clear VCP pattern, right? So the T1, T2, this is probably the third contraction, and any breakout from this is a good breakout. Also, like green, so anything with green probably is going to break out. Adani Power is also something which I really like. The Tata Power has already broken out of the HTF and it's somewhere here, like 15% above the HTF breakout point. This also I like because you see there is no volumes, no one is selling. There is also 17% first T, 10% second T, and right now 4 days of very tight price action, which basically is the third T. Okay, and this is a great high tide flag setup, like great. Uh, so this would be like, let's say if we rate these setups out of like 5 stars, Adani Power would be 5 star for me. Adani Green would be 4.5, and these two would be like, let's say, 4-ish, right? So Alok Industries is another really good setup. You can see that whenever you have a pole of the high tide flag, and the pole is like 20%, like like huge big bars, and that too with highest volume ever, like ever, right? So that means that something happened here, and now this also is like a very nice orderly pullback. With each pullback the volumes are getting scant, which means that the supply is getting absorbed. While the supply is getting absorbed, the price is also not falling. What does that mean? That any scant demand will push the prices above this pivot, and once that happens, we will have a we will have a up move, and this would then be your low cheat entry, because this at the third the lower third of the base, right? um, so Alok Industries is a 5 star setup for me. Apollo Sinduri Hospital or hotel, whatever it is, it's also very similar to Alok Industries. See, the first round of selling, three sort of decent volume bars. Second round of selling, mm, very less. Last round which is going on right now, like khatam, nahi hai volume. Where's the pivot? This is the reversal pivot, right? Also a tight area here, and risk management, either -6% ले लो या -10% ले लो, right? So 5 star, I mean, let's say 4.5 star. Adani Total Gas is again like a 4 star setup, and this is a 1T, second T, possible third T. And again, sometimes what happens is this T, where this like a symmetrical triangle. Uh, so so there can be like a contraction shuffling. So imagine this whole contraction could be a part of a bigger T, right? And then there will be smaller, there is possibility of smaller T's. In that case, this will not remain a IHTF. This will then go on to become a bigger base, and bigger base ka breakout also will be like utna hi khatarnak, how an HTF base breakout looks like. There are so many examples in this last month where like things look like an HTF at the beginning, and then it base for some time, some more time. IFCI, ITI, a lot of examples I can give. And then when they break out also, the kind of up move you will get will be dhuadhar, right? Back films. So back films media was already a high tide flag here. See, amazing 1T 2T, right? 1T 2T के बाद amazing breakout मिला इधर बैग फिल्म्स को, right? उसके बाद and then this again is setting up in another HTF के ऊपर HTF. Like there is something really, I mean, probably really good going on here. I don't know that, but like from the price action, it looks like so. So this is the pivot. Above this pivot, there would be a base breakout. This is also a really good setup for me. BDL now. BDL, I really love this setup, right? Why? Because true pole, amazing volumes, no volumes here, sort of uh, uh, had some supply here, and then it again came back, absorbed a lot of stuff. um, so even on like not so great earnings also, the reaction was not bad. In fact, it tried to break out, right? And full disclosure, I entered on this day, I think around 1772 or something. And I have a bullish bias here, right? And I'll get out below this point. No questions. 5-star setup for me. Cupid, although this looks like way extended, my point of putting Cupid in the list was that this setup fulfills the criteria of the high tide flag. Now, the only problem I have is this move is probably looks like a FOMO move of sorts, because there are not much volumes, and again there is some selling here from the volumes. But again, since price is not going down, that means that whoever is selling, there are also equal number of buyers here. So at some point of time, we don't know if the demand will overcome the supply, but if that happens, then this is a valid setup, right? I still hold 50% of my position which I made here. Dredge corp is another good setup. I really like it. um, uh, so if you don't think this is a true pole, but this is a small flag, and this is also a very decent flag. Yeah, like has all the characteristics of perfect flag, 5 6 characteristics which I see. um, I've written about those characteristics. Please go and check out the article. um, so this is also a very nice flag. One way to trade that would be just to trade this, and that would be like a PBC setup, pullback confirmation. Also bounce from the 20 DMA, right? And I also like, so okay, I will another thing I will tell you at the end of the session, how I can rate it. There are so many setups. Dunseri Ventures, this I just put, this is not ready yet. Just 3 days of pullback, this is not ready yet. Imami Realty. Now, this is might not be a true high tide flag, but what I like is the base. The base is getting big, and no one is selling, and we are basing very constructively here. And yeah, this has a really good risk reward when once this breaks out from here. SR shipping has been doing well since some time, a long time now, and this is a high tide flag setup. uh, uh, First round selling, second round selling, now it's getting tighter, right? Around 50 DMA. So um, gallant I just put in here just to show that how beautifully highlight flags work. Okay, so gallant was in the watch list for quite some time now. People who did the high tide flag session 1 also might recognize this. um, and so it broke out yesterday, day before yesterday, and we did alert this in the group as well. And the point I'm trying to make with this arrow is that this is a perfect entry, right? So if you have a perfect entry, all of your problems as traders, which we all face, and I'm including myself here, will go away, right? It will go away, like most of your problems, like FOMO, basically when this guy comes here and then trying to buy, FOMO buying, having a larger stop loss. um, I don't know, any other problem, most of them will be solved if you buy it in the right place, right? Ganesh housing not ready, but something which I would like to track, right? So let's say this is a bada wala base form hua 3 4 weeks ka, like A1 setup, like 5.5 out of 5 setup, right? And another thing which I want to also point out is that this big base breakouts always then lead to like a huge momentum. And I have a something called Khela Hobe indicator that basically points out any big base breakouts. Now you will also see this Khela coming when things break out of high tide flags as well. So this is a very nice indicator to have, especially if you are just beginning to trade and you want some sort of help uh, with indicators which are high fidelity. And in my opinion, this is a very high fidelity indicator. See another another example, Hindustan Copper. Yeah, this is a trade which I took here and then sold somewhere here. Like so foolish of me. But again, like I have learned to be क्या बोलते हैं उसको, less like more forgiving of my trades, and only learn from them. This is just broken out. One could still make an entry here, okay? And looks like earnings would also be good if not already out, and the price action is already showing it. Excuse me. HSCL Himadri Speciality. This at some point of time was a high tide flag we were tracking, and then became a big base breakout happened. Then it shook out some people, and then it then rallied. So this is not a true pole, but still a very good pole, 100% or so. And then we have a very nice consolidation. This is a pivot. I like it. The only problem is I don't like the sector right now, and that's one very strong criteria you need to have when you are ranking your HDFs. Of course, like if there are like one one stock which has green or energy at the back of the name, and one has HSCL, which one do you think has a higher probability of breaking out? You know, so Inox Green. This is a 5.5 setup for me, and I will not explain why. Um, Peak setup, peak. Inox Wind was a peak setup. Um, I alerted here in my group. I couldn't trade it. I didn't have money. I was invested everywhere. But had I had some, uh, uh, had I had some taka, I would have traded this. This is like a no-brainer, unmissable setup, right? And one could still get an entry, which is basically the O'Neill pivot breakout entry. So there are 4 or 5 different kind of entries which one can make on a high tide flag, and I discuss each and every one of them in my deep dive, right? Uh, so 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 if you want to learn, please consider joining. IRFC, I put it here because many people will say that, hey, khatam ho gaya railway, this, that, you know. But the thing is, like, we don't know until we see actually IRFC breaking down, which we don't see right now. Still above 10 DMA. Like, can you imagine? Still above 10 DMA, and people have like written this guy off. That is why I put it here. IWEL. You see, anything which has inox, wind, energy, solar, Phalana, Dimkana, all of them are like making this kind of very, very nice structures. And yeah, one way to trade this would have been to enter on this day, because that was like a reversal PBC, this one. Still not, I mean, there's no clear entry here yet. One can always anticipate that कोई ये 1T है, second T बनेगा, फिर फिर ऊपर जाएगा, शेक आउट करेगा, निकलेगा, 30 बनेगा. But basically the point is like it's a good setup. Would have loved the volumes here to be little less, but it is what it is, right? So yeah, because of the volumes, I will not give it a 5-star setup, maybe 3.9 ish, but still a great setup. JBMA. So JBMA also a really good setup. Now you see, this is the anticipation I've made. Now people will say that, hey, this is a failed breakout because ये one single horizontal line के ऊपर गया, then वो हो गया. So generally what happens is when a stock is very strong, they don't base horizontally. Okay, they don't base horizontally. They base with a slope. And in my opinion, this is what is going to happen in JBMA. And so this guy will probably come here, hit this, and then again bounce back. So then, if that's the case, you can always time this bounce from the support. Like this is right now not a support. This anticipated support, okay, and that would be one kind of entry, and obviously the breakout of this would be a base breakout, high type flag base breakout entry. So a good one in my opinion. Again, Kamdhenu is not ready yet because see, if you trade this is not a high tide flag setup. Why? I'll tell you. This is just the continuation of the uptrend is already in. When this guy broke out from a huge base here, right? Another couple of key points. You had a Homma Khela over here, but you also had Homma Khela over here and here, right? But these two were less probability than this. Yeah. So So there are other key things like volumes as well as this one. Anyways, so what I was trying to say here is that I've kept this in the list just to show you that this is a very small base right now. So whenever you are trading high tide flags, always make sure that the base is at least 10-day old. Okay, I mean not 10 day, 10 candles old. So in this is the high and उसके बाद कितना 7 bars. So ये बंदा फेल होने का chances बहुत है. I can show you so many examples live we discussed in the last session. But this is basically just, this is the breakout. Then we went on an uptrend. This is just higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low वाला thingy, right? So for it to be a high tide flag का base, मतलब थोड़ा सा the base has to be big and has to be some decent correction, right? If the correction is small, then this correction, the pole should have been like a true pole, right? So manaka man man manaxia aluminium. So this is a very good setup. Again, this could also then be said that this is just a continuation of the uptrend, but I believe that this will take the form of a bigger base, right? Obviously, right now it's not a high tide flag setup. If you trade this would just be a pullback confirmation setup and not a high tide flag setup, right? um, so these are small distinctions one can make, and if need be. um, Manakasia Steel Limited is also another name. Again, very small base, not ready yet. um, yeah, so this one is a little extended. This one, you see, this is a true pole, like true pole. And again, see, what I'm trying to show you here is that a lot of these 100% movers start their journey from a big base breakout with a Khelaube candle. Okay, now nice move, and then the we had like a 20% drawdown, क्या बोलते pullback, and then it's very nicely set up right now. So uh, well, this is a little dicey. um, what I think is that, this is going to become like a चिक 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 तो ऐसा वाला like it will take the shape of a ascending channel and then eventually challenge the O'Neill pivot. I generally don't like this. Somehow, I don't know. You can see you can see previous examples like Nitco. I think Nitco also had something like this. See, chick 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 chick. Somehow my stop loss will get triggered here, and just not. Although this did really well, but somehow I'm not, not very. क्या बोलते हैं उसको? What's the word I'm looking for? Not very uh, comfortable trading this. Somehow I find the base not not clean. Nagarjuna fertilizer apparently is a strong this one now, and again, like this would be 1T complete. Abhi second T ka base we haven't found yet, but this could break out very soon. Don't like the volume pattern here much, but it is what it is. So Network 18 Media also is a not a great high tide flag, but nonetheless it is one. And why I put it here is that, the volumes in the mast has been epic. Like every single down day, the volumes are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. तो वॉल्यूम्स तो ज़ीरो नहीं होते हैं कभी भी. लाइक ज़ीरो प्रॉबेबली हो सकता है, बट इट विल नॉट गो नेगेटिव, राइट? So what will happen when a little bit of volume even comes, and that will be buying volume, right? I mean that will be demand, because supply to hai nahi, and when that comes then it will break out. So NISEL is probably no longer a high tide flag now in conventional terms. 63-day old base. But this looks superb, like superb. 1T, second T, third T. ये 30 मतलब 30 का base found हुआ है because this is a pivot low. Hmm? These are very basics of technical analysis. This is a pivot low because this low is lower than the previous like aju baju wala candle, right? So this was the pivot low of the second T, the pivot low of the first T. And my bullish is bias. This is one of my biggest positions right now. I've scaled down from IRFC and I've loaded this guy now, and I'm decently up. I think 5-6% up. But if I truly believe in my technical analysis abilities, I should be able to top up when we get the O'Neill pivot breakout here, right? Don't know if I will be able to do that or not, but this is a very high probability setup. NLC India is also a great setup, and the breakout happened here on this day. This was a cheat pivot breakout, and above this the O'Neill pivot breakout, which sort of squatted. But again, we like there is a very negative emotion associated with squats, okay, and that is something which is not warranted, because this is not a bug, right? This is a feature of the system. What do you expect the price to do when it comes near resistance? Do you expect it to form a lower wick or an upper wick? Like beach जाके समंदर के किनारे जाके do you expect to find water or something else, right? Something like that. So again, this might come back for another round of supply absorption, but a good setup again, in my opinion. Okay, I have 3 minutes only, so I will. OFFS, OFSS, great setup. Big base breakout, couple of signals, and then bam, 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 highest volumes ever. Coming back, no supply. Epic setup. PC Jewelers, another setup I like. Had true high flag. Pole could have been better, but ठीक है, क्या कर सकते हैं. This is my cheat pivot. R power, like good setup. Should have been better. ये जगह पे अगर true pole होता, but it's a really good setup again because it's power also, and don't know about fundamentals and stuff like that, but again strong sector. RVNL also I've put it. People have so I remember many of my friends. Okay, I'll just circle back a little bit. So this is one of a favorite stock of mine. I think I traded. Definitely did not trade it here. I traded here, and then here people are like, oh, like what happened here is like, oh, like railways are topping, stage 3 distribution, you know, stuff like that. But then what happened? It again very constructively based and broke out here. Again constructively based and broke out here. And again the same thing, like, oh, railway is heated. Okay, I'm not saying that railway might not be heated, but I will also not say that this might not break out again and do 60, 70, 80% more, right? Always remember, anticipation is good. It's good to form opinion, like educated opinions based on a lot of other information you gather. It could be fundamentals, macro, charts, but just wait for the confirmation. The confirmation is basically price, because price pays. That's the only thing that pay. Your opinion will not pay you. Spark, A1 setup. A1. Okay, this is again already a broken out stock, but just to show that hey, these things work. Okay, pole T1 T2 breakout. TVHS. Okay, this is a good setup, but this is not a A1 setup. Okay, why? I'll not tell you right now. I'll tell you someday else because we are yeah, we are short of time. Since you guys joined me, thank you so much for that. It's always great to have an audience to speak to. I will take a few questions and then we'll leave.
Prakash, Rahul here.
Hi Rahul, how are you?
Quick, I'm good, thank you.
Cool, man.
Quick, two questions.
Yeah.
One is, once HTF breaks out, I just want to revise this. The stop loss will go to the breakout level. The case in point is Gallant.
Hmm. See,
So
okay, I'll let you finish. Yeah.
yeah, so if you look at Gallant's chart,
Right.
my approximation is about 202 is the kind of a level which should be a stop loss now. Because I entered and I'm looking for a revised stop loss for it.
Yeah. So you must have entered somewhere around 205, 203, or
Yeah, I entered on the first, the red arrow which you are showing.
yeah.
So I actually had an anticipation entry on this.
Oh, cool. Okay. So now, see, there are a lot of ways to manage this trade. Okay. I'll tell you a lot of other ways, but let me first tell you how I would manage. Okay. Now, because because I because the probability that Gallant will now do, let's say, let's uh, let's try to make an estimate. 108 from the lowest point of the pivot, right? So there is a very high probability that Gallant could do 355. Okay. Okay.
Right.
And the breakout out of the base is also very strong, right? So these are the these are the two observations which I'm putting to form an opinion that Gallant coming back inside the base is very low probability,
Okay.
right? Um, so if there is a small probability that it comes back because of the strength of the setup, the probability that it will come back max
Of the
retest
breakout level.
and again go back is very high. Okay. So
Right.
what I would do is, now there are two things which happens. Okay. Now the thing is, okay, आप छोटा वाला stop loss लगाओ and say कि अच्छा अगर वो hit हो गया तो hit हो गया, अगर वो hit नहीं हुआ then you are gonna get a big, right? So now my next question that I ask me is, let's say Prakash, let's say I'm asking myself if I'm in this trade, uh,
Yeah.
can because the probability in my opinion is for it to go up, agar, even if it shakes out or even without shakeout. Now, if I keep a small stop loss and if it shakes me out, would I
Okay.
be able to enter back again? Right?
Okay.
Yes. Now my the question to the answer, the personal question to that answer for me is, I find it very difficult to re-enter any setup that throws me out.
Right.
Right? So that is why for me the better thing would be to 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 still have the original stop loss right now.
Okay.
Okay. Now let's say going forward, what Gallant does is, let's say 10% अभी 7%, right? So let's say what Gallant does is, it moves one more day, which is very likely because volumes are just trying to come in only. So in
Yes.
my opinion, it's very likely that it'll go 1 or 2 days and then like sort of form a small base, like just a pullback and then again go, right? So what I would do is I would somehow wait for this action to play out. At that time, maybe
Okay.
the 5 and 10 MA also will catch up, and when this a bounce will happen, after that I will shift my stop loss to
Stop loss.
here, and
Right.
I might use like the 10 2. So
Understood.
I might use the 10 2. Yeah. So that is how I
And
would play.
one, yeah. And
That
one question is like Adani Power is a very good setup,
yeah,
but it is right now a T2 trade to trade stock.
yeah.
So do we wait for it to come out of that
See, yeah.
to enter?
Okay. So
Because I was holding on to this and then I sold out because it was just the move was very sluggish.
yeah, I
Few
got
days.
it. Let me just check my battery. 12%. हाँ. So ठीक है. So let me just finish this. Another way to manage this trade would be, see, let's say your original stop loss here was let's say 5%. ठीक है?
Yeah.
5%. Now you are already up, I think 2 hour or so,
Correct.
right? So even right now, if you are not, if I mean this depends on your risk tolerance and stuff like that, right? And I am also evolving. And this bull market, I evolved a lot, and you
I
guys know how I have evolved, right? So if you are not so still not so like itna risk matlab, like I don't want to get out the give back the gains, you still can sell some portion to de-risk your trade and then have a deeper stop loss for whatever's remaining, right? That's the other way to manage the trade. Got it?
got it.
Okay.
Got it.
So now let's talk about Adani Power. Okay. So at some point of time, I also thought that like ये जो 5% circuit movers है, um, I was very hesitant to take stocks in. I mean, take positions in them because I used to be like, अरे मतलब, and a lot of my learnings, early learnings also comes from Twitter. Okay. So Twitter में लगा T2 stock है, ये है, वो है, but slowly I figured कि because I also every week, almost every day, I do my own study of
Yeah.
how peak movers move, right? So if you see peak movers, almost 60% of the peak movers are in T2T category,
Okay.
right? So one of my biggest gains comes from Wari right now. This has been in T2T since like, see, the thing
Got
is,
it.
once SEBI knows that people are dying to get in a stock, वो circuit लगा देंगे.
Okay.
वो सर्किट लगा देंगे, ठीक है? तो इन माय ओपिनियन
Got it.
आई थिंक वी कैन स्लोली डिस्पेल दिस
Right.
दिस दिस लॉजिक की मतलब T2 स्टॉक्स बहुत डेंजरस होते हैं. इफ द प्राइस एक्शन इज क्लियरली टेलिंग यू दैट भाई डिमांड ज़्यादा है सप्लाई से, then I think the chance the what's the word, the risk is actually very less in my opinion.
Got it.
All
And
right.
last, in case you can review this guy, Anthony Waste once.
AWHCL.
So, is this red candle a cause of concern?
This one.
No, this one.
This one, I don't think so. Okay, so let me clear my chart a little bit. थोड़ा big picture देख लेते हैं.
Yeah, weekly mate was looking like a very big wick, red
See,
wick.
I'll tell you. So in my opinion, AWHCL is of course not a velocity mover, right? So there are two kind of movers in general in market, and this is basically what Stockbee also says. One is a velocity mover, and one is a like a long term like test match player kind of guy. तो डेफिनेटली AWHCL इज़ नॉट अ वेलोसिटी गाई. वेलोसिटी माने कि फॉर एग्जांपल IRFC हो गया या वारी हो गया, दोस काइंड ऑफ गाइज, राइट? सो दिस गाई विल लाइक स्लोली, दिस गाई इज एन अप ट्रेंड डेफिनेटली. तो higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, right? So even on in a weekly, the higher low pivot is this one. So एक बार after the big base breakout happened, then it came back, retested, went up. Now the thing is like, of course it is not gonna move bam bam bam, but I think this is still just only retesting this DTL base breakout. So I have this in my long term portfolio.
Yeah, no.
And
I was having it in this swing portfolio, so I was, slightly not happy with the speed of it.
yeah, speed is not great. I mean, for swing, this is not a great name, in my opinion, right now. There are so many better names than this, right?
Yeah, yeah. Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Cheers, man. Thanks for the questions. Last question, please, if anyone has.
Can you please look into Goldium, Prakash?
Goldium.
Yeah.
Sure. Goldium. GOLDI. Goldium International. Yeah. So Goldium is a good stock. I mean, it's a good base breakout, and this is also a big base breakout happening to actually break out, right? So generally how this plays out is you're seeing that there's a very nice previous uptrend, and because of this humongous uptrend, like humongous, कहाँ से 16 रुपया से 210 and then generally this kind of uptrend then also demands a bigger basing period, right? And as per the demand, it also got a very long basing period. It's almost how long? This is 2021 से लेके अभी almost 22, 23, 2 years and some months. Now the right side of the base is forming. This is very near to your what's that? perfect entry point, right? So there's an up move, and there's again 10 weeks of basing, and this is now going to break out, and that breakout, and this is also a big base breakout. This is what I call big base breakout, right? This is one of the, this right now, I mean, on this day or tomorrow, possibly, if it goes above, this is one of the best entry you can make technically on a stock. And this is also a 2T VCP right now. We have an uptrend, we have a T1, really great name, okay? 19% T1, 19.5. The T2 is about 14%. And yeah, possibly we can get a T3, but I don't think so, because I like the volumes here. And there is also a Mars DTL base breakout. This, the corresponding tops on this tops were lower high in Mars, but that lower high also broken out on this candle. So sometimes what happens is, this is what basically the relative strength making a new high before the stock, and this is basically telling us that, hey, I'm back. All right, so this is a great stock, a good entry in my opinion right now. All right, guys, I'll stop here. Thanks, Ilango, for your question, and I'll see you soon. Thank you for joining. Have a good week, good weekend, and bye bye.
Thank you for the session, brother.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
mate.
Bye.
Cheers, mate.
Thank
Bye.
you, Prakash.